There was a lot of online discourse around Feyre's pregnancy in A Court of Silver Flames because I think a lot of people were frustrated, right? That she didn't have control or understanding of what was happening to her body, and her partner did, which we'll get to. But can you talk a little bit about why you chose to write her story that way?
I love my children. I am fucking obsessed with my kids. I hated being pregnant. I hated it. It was traumatic for me every step of the way, starting with like when I was first pregnant with my son, and I was told by like this asshole of a nurse, like, okay, this is your weight and you can only gain this much weight while you're pregnant. And like, as someone who's had like a history with like disordered eating and stuff, like being told like you're only allowed to gain between this much, like here and here, like this is all you can gain during pregnancy. It took every bit of joy away, where instead of focusing on this beautiful baby growing inside of me, I was thinking about the food I was putting in my body. My son was born in an emergency C-section 2 weeks late. I'd never had surgery of any sort in my life before this point. So like for me, even to be in like a hospital gown in a hospital, like I'm terrified. And then this man I've never met before, and like is telling me like, this is what we are doing. And like, you did everything wrong. And he's scolding me. So I'm already terrified. This is my first kid. I don't know what to expect. And I'm shaking so violently with terror that like, and like all the doctors there like ignored, like they did not give a shit. It was the intern, like the med school intern that like saw me like panic, like a girl. And she came over and like held my hand through it. I had to have this emergency C-section one, like he started going into distress, but like he had not dropped. And it was the kind of thing where I sometimes think about this. Like if I had been born like 100 years before, I would have died. And so like that really stuck with me, this sense of like, I should be dead and my son should be dead. The recovery from the C-section was horrible. The guy like sliced me way too high. He was lazy. He sliced me in a way that was convenient to him, but essentially destroyed like the flow and look of my stomach where it never would heal right. But then when I had my daughter, I had an amazing gynecologist here in LA, actually. And she, in our first appointment when we met each other, she took one look at what this man had done to me and she had to walk out of the room. And she was like, I never would have cut you like that. And she was so, she was shaking. She was like, this was unnecessary. He's like, well, why did he do it? She's like, because he was lazy and he was an asshole. I did not have like easy pregnancies and births. And so like Feyre and all of that, like just was my own way of processing my shit. The fear, like Reese's fear, even that probably came from my fear and thinking about having another kid and like just like all of that. And that's the way where like the things I go through in life feed into my books. Writing that book allowed me to get it out of my system.